Good morning, children. Today we are going to discuss nationalism in India. How the Indian people are fought against the colonial master, like in British people. In the previous class, we learned the first two phases of freedom movement from 1885 to 1905, 1905 to 1919. What the moderate phase and extremist phase happened. Now in this chapter we are going to discuss two important movements like the non-cooperation movement and civil disobedience movement under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi. Before that, in between the period from 1919 to till we got independence, or in this chapter the civil disobedience movement, how the Congress party sought to develop nationalist feeling among the common people, and how the different people are participated in the non-cooperation or the civil disobedience movement, how the people are taught to participation in this movement we are going to discuss. And before that, what are the conditions prevalent in India? First of all, the First World War and a Khilafat movement and non-cooperation movement. In what is the impact of the First World War on India? How India is impacted because of the First World War? The First World War held between the period of 1914 to 1918 among the European countries first. That rumors spread to their colonial countries like Asia and Africa continent also. We are controlled by the British, so that is the reason we fought on behalf of the British people against their rivalry. Due to the promises of British people to Indians, after the war is end, once the First World War is end, we will give some more constitutional reforms to Indian people. That is why large number of the Indian people are participated in the war. But how the impacted the First World War over India? The two important aspects. One is an economic and social. What is the economic impact of the First World War over India? Economic impact means due to the First World War, more amount of the money diverted to the war field. British government required more money to accumulate more armaments. For that, war expenditure increased. For that, what are the sources to get the income? British government. They are levied more taxes from the Indian people. They increased custom duties. They introduced income tax. They collected heavy taxes from the peasants. All these happened. In addition to that, in a social impact over India, forced recruitment is held. Forced recruitment. The government, compared to the Indian countryside especially, the peasants are forced to join in the Indian army to support of the British government. Because of all these things, prices of various commodities increased. Prices of various commodities increased between the period of 1913 to 1918. Almost all these prices is doubled between the war time. Prices of various goods doubled. It is highly difficult to reach the common people the goods. In addition to this, famine occurred between the period of 1918, 1919, 1920, 1921. Famine happened most of the Indian places. The result of that sharply declined the food products. Once the food is acute shortage, the people are unable to eat properly, then they are fall very easily epidemic diseases. The result of that, instead of increasing population for every decade, population is decreased from the compared to the 1911 census to 1921 census, nearly 12 to 13 million population is perished. That is very greatly showed the impact both economically and socially over the India, the First World War. In such a kind of condition, during the time of First World War, new person came to Indian national movement, Indian freedom movement, that is Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi came to India, then we got the idea of Satyagraha. The idea of Satyagraha. What is the Satyagraha? Once he spoke about the Satyagraha, the people who are fighting against injustice, if the people what cause they're fighting, if the cause was true, if the cause was true, if they are fighting against injustice, for that no need any physical force. Through that truth and non-violence, we can win over the oppressor. He spoke about that. Every person must search for the truth and non-violence. Through that only, through the appealing, through the requesting, through the memorandum, to give some representation to the oppressor, definitely you could win over the oppressor. That is non-violence or Satyagraha. In this, a very greatly famous, through this method only in the South Africa against the apartheid system, that is the racial discrimination between the white and non-white people in South Africa. Same manner introduced, similar kind of process introduced in India also. For that, after his careful study, the conditions of the local conditions of the India, he started three important movements. Those are Champaran, Kheda and Ahmedabad. Champaran in the year 1916. This is the Champaran, a village in Bihar. The village peasants are forced to cultivate indigo. That is, indigo system, Teen Katya system existed in Champaran. The British traders, rulers are forced to cultivate indigo, some amount of the land of the people. And after they cultivated this crop, the Bihar people, the Champaran region peasants, must sell their goods, their production to the British traders only. And what they fixed the price. And what the British traders fixed the price. And after that, with the using of this indigo in the cotton textile industry in England, they earned huge profits and brought the same goods to Indian markets. This is the happened. Then when the farmers of the Champaran invited to Gandhiji, Gandhiji went to there, and then he did the Satyagraha. And that is the first successful movement against the Champaran, against the Teen Katya. He succeeded Mahatma Gandhi. After this movement, a similar kind of movement is held in Kheda, Gujarat in 1917. The peasants of Kheda also called Gandhi, invited to Gandhi to represent on behalf of these people. In the Kheda, peasants are suffered a lot due to the high taxes. They collecting land revenue. Even the crops are failed. These people are demanding relaxation of the taxes on the particular agricultural year. The government is not accepted. Gandhiji intervened that. Gandhiji did agitation through the non-violence method and succeeded in the 1917 Kheda movement also. Then the relaxation of the taxes attained the Kheda peasants. After success of these two movements, the people who are the mill workers invited to Gandhiji in the Ahmedabad cotton textile industry. When they are recruited, when they are appointed, these people are from the particular then to till now, there is no increments. So the price is increasing, Between the period of 1913 to 1918 only, the prices almost double of various commodities, but their salaries is not increased. So these people are demanding to increase the salaries. Gandhiji went and did agitation and succeeded. He spoke, he negotiated with the management of the cotton textile industries and attained the 24% of increments. This is initial moments that one particular region, Gandhiji led the movement. After the initial moments, Gandhiji concentrated initial moments of the particular local areas. Gandhiji concentrated nationwide movement. For that, he waiting for an opportunity. Gandhiji in such a kind of condition. After the First World War, British government made Rowlatt Act. The Rowlatt Act made in the year 1919. After the First World War, Indian people are expected their difficulties, what their hardship, the facing under the British administration may end after the First World War. But the British government, some more repressive methods they are followed through this Rowlatt Act. After even being the opposition of the Indian Legislative Council members, Imperial Legislative Council of the British made the Rowlatt Act in the year 1990. Through this act, British government got enormous powers, abnormal powers, like emergency only. Like emergency, civic liberties are suspended during the Rowlatt Act. Through this act, British government got enormous powers. That means, to whomever they suspect, they put into the jail up to 2 years without any trial, without any legal prosecution. They simply, the person can arrest and sent to the jail. In such a kind of law they brought. For against this unjust law, Rowlatt Act, Gandhiji wanted to launch a nationwide movement. First of all, against especially the most commonly prevalent in the North India, mostly in the Punjab and Delhi, Uttar Pradesh region. So the people who fought against this unjust law, those all the local leaders are arrested by the British government and sent to the jail. Like the most important leaders in the Punjab, in Amritsar, Dr. Satyapal and Saifuddin Kichlu. These two people are arrested by the British government and sent to the jail. When the news reached, the common people came onto the road to show the protest against the British government and did a hartal, means that is called a procession, with non-violently, like a rally. On 6th April 1919, Hartal conducted under the leadership of Gandhi only in the Delhi region. The most of these people came out on the roads to show the protest against, and so many people are violently they fought against the British government, like they disrupted railway lines and railway workshops are closed down, telegraph lines are disrupted. Most of these people are agitated in front of the government offices. But in a similar manner, government also used more force in a very brutal manner. They want to suppress this movement. For that, the given responsibility, General Dyer. General Dyer took command on 13th April in the year 1919. He took a command and went to that famous Jallianwala Bagh. That is Jallianwala Bagh on 13th April. Thousands of the agitators met to discuss about that arrest of local leaders, Dr. Satyapal and Saifuddin Kichlu. And many number of the people are from the countryside also attend to this meeting, for they are unaware about that martial law was imposed by the British government, Rowlatt Act. They are intended to participate in the annual Baisakhi fair in Punjab, the most important festival. The thousands of the people are met and discussing. When the news is reached to the Dyer along with some troop, he came to that, entered into the Jallianwala Bagh and enclosed that fort, completely closed that, and only a small exit is left. From there, without giving any warning, they are commanded to fire on this mob. They are fight. Hundreds of the people are died in this incident. After that, Jallianwala Bagh incident, the person is General Wood Dyer announced what is his important aim to create, produce moral effect among the Satyagrahis. That means he wanted to create terror and awe. The terror and awe, he wanted to create the more terrible condition. The ones he spoke about this work, what he did in the Jallianwala Bagh. When the news is reached to that, common people, the neighboring area people, all over the North India, thousands of the people came out to the road. They wanted to show the protest against this incident. The government also some more brutally came with the repression. So many people are suffered, beaten by the policemen. They had to do the crawl on the grounds. They have to do the salams to the sahibs. So much brutal manner they used. And finally, when that moment is went to non-violent, Gandhiji want to called off, then roll against the roll of hands. That's what the moment led. Then Gandhiji called off. In such a kind of condition, what the impact, most important impact of the First World War, then one more complete scheme that is called Khilafat. What is Khilafat? The most important, another most important idea at the moment, Khilafat movement. After the First World War ended when Turkey surrounded to British. Turkey surrounded, and after surrounded Turkey to the British people, the British people are went to that treaty with the Turkey and very humiliated. The Turkish Sultan treated in very humiliated manner. Turkish Sultan is considered as a spiritual head of the Muslims. So the Muslims are felt bad. What is the work? What is the doing the work by the British government towards the Khalifa means Turkish Sultan. So the people who are Indian Muslims, they wanted to fight against the British government on the issue of Khilafat, that is Khalifa treated by the British people. In the year 1900, that is the year 1919 March, Khilafat committees formed, the met in the Bombay under the leadership of Maulana Azad and Hakim Hazmal Khan and Hazrat Mohani. These are the people are the senior most leaders of the Muslim. Under their leadership, Khilafat committee decided to launch the Khilafat movement with the support of the other Indian people, non-Muslims. There is most responsibility is given, very active role played in this movement. Young generation leaders like Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali. These people took the responsibility. These people spoke and they came to Gandhi and spoke that need to start a Khilafat movement against the British government. Gandhi is also looking for such a kind of opportunity only. Unless unite both the Hindu and Muslims, very difficult to launch a big movement against the British government. Gandhiji felt very happy when Shaukat Ali and Muhammad Ali requested to launch the Khilafat movement that under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi only. Then what the Shaukat Ali Muhammad Ali's proposal given to Gandhiji, the same proposal brought it to the Congress. Gandhiji requested to Congress party in the September 1920 in Kolkata session. Gandhiji convinced the Congress leaders to support the Khilafat movement. But between the period of 1920 September to December, several meetings held. The Congress party is confused. That means tussle. That means a dilemma whether have to participate, whether have to support the Muslims or not. And finally, in the December 1920, the Nagpur Congress session, Congress party decided to launch Khilafat non-cooperation movement under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi. Then 1921 January, non-cooperation movement started against the British government. What is non-cooperation movement? How non-cooperation movement stand? Who are the people who are participated in that non-cooperation movement? We are going to discuss in next class.